I've got a question for you. If I told you I was about to level up your life, what would you think I'm about to do? Give you a nice car? Maybe give you a mansion? Dare I say it? Maybe even a pay rise. Well, not if I was a Tory. You see, the Conservatives have been promising to level up England for a while, and whilst most of us know they're not serious at all in doing this, there's something that many are forgetting to talk about. Calling it levelling up is a massive spit in the face of every region that has been deprived funding in the last 12 years. Many children won't have access to libraries. Try to get a GP appointment, see how that goes. Maybe even a dentist appointment if you're feeling lucky. If you get a news cycle lane, the Tories will call that levelling up. How bonkers is that, and how crazy is it to think that we've normalised that as a process in this country? The government has cut £16 billion in grant funding for local authorities since 2010, and today they're giving a few lucky areas the chance to win a part of £3 billion. The utter shamelessness. Here's Gary Stevenson absolutely confronting the BBC and their pundits on this issue.
Is it a good idea? Is this going to transform people's lives in these areas?
Well, I mean, if I take £15 off you and then give you £2.80, is that going to transform your life? These guys, they've found £2.8 billion to give to local councils. In the last 3 years, they've given £700 billion to the rich.
I know you've met
50 times as much. Listen, is it levelling up if I give a poor person £2.80 and I give a rich person £250? No, sorry, £700. 250 times as much. Listen, this government has presided over the largest and fastest ever increase in inequality in the history of the country. And the most Orwellian thing you've ever heard, they call that levelling up.
Whilst the 1% hold more wealth than 70% of people in the UK, the British government and the mainstream media are telling you that you should appreciate this funding and you should see it as a form of levelling up. Yeah, right. But what Gary is referring to here is during the pandemic, when we were all on furlough, the government were paying our wages. But here's the important part. They paid our wages not through taxing the rich, but through printing and borrowing more money. And whilst ordinary people spent their furlough money in the way ordinary people would do, this meant that the government was left in hundreds of billions of pounds worth of debt, and the rich in hundreds of billions of pounds in profit. This is one of many ways the Tories have stolen our money. Don't believe me? Look at this from The Independent. While the economy shrunk at its fastest pace in 3 centuries and millions of people were put on taxpayer-funded furlough, the number of billionaires jumped 24% and their combined wealth increased 22%. Now I think this sums up perfectly what's happened to the British economy. It's been subject to a hostile takeover by the elite, the super wealthy. And we're doomed to serve their interests if we don't do anything about it. But did this whole process really start 12 years ago? Watch my video on whether Brexit was actually what broke Britain.